everybody, and I'm finally back on YouTube. I didn't make a video the entire month of June. I was busy. I did explain that on Twitter, so if you follow me there, you know. Probably not, because I don't have a lot of followers there, so you probably didn't know. But what matters is I am back, and I can't wait to talk about movies on this channel yet again. And to kick it all off, I decided to just talk about some random films I watched quite recently, and today I'm going to review them in a combo review that I make sometimes on this channel. So today I'm going to talk about Vivarium, Swallow, and the Platform. The first movie we're going to talk about is Vivarium, and first let's get into the plot synopsis. So, in search of a new house, our couple, played by J.C. Eisenberg and Imogen Poots, visit a real estate agency, and they meet a very strange sales agent there. And despite that, they decide to go to the housing development and check it out. But before they know it, they get trapped in it. And wherever they drive, they still end up in the same spot in front of their new house, number 9. I saw the trailer for Vivarium a while back on YouTube, and after that I was actually really excited about the film, and yet it disappointed me. The concept seems interesting, and yet they barely do anything with it. This movie is so uneventful, You'd think that our lead characters would find something about this place, and there are some elements that appear in the movie where you're like, oh, okay, this is gonna lead somewhere. But it doesn't. Look, I'm not trying to rewrite the script here and say that the screenwriters needed to explain us everything what's going on behind the scenes. Some movies, decide not to do that, keep some mysteries behind the scenes, and that's perfectly fine. It's actually quite interesting. What I'm trying to say here is that I wish that at least we would get some couple of moments where we as audience could guess, okay, what's going on, get excited, maybe get spooked. But no, there are literally 2 moments in the film, obviously not going to spoil anything, but 2 moments in the film where first one where something appears and I'm like, okay, maybe this is gonna lead somewhere, and as I said, it doesn't. And the second moment where it kind of leads somewhere, but they kind of find something, but it was so kind of expected. I was like, okay, yeah, makes sense. Nothing really exciting there. So it just, I'm just left there hoping for something. And I didn't really get anything. The movie pretty much in its entirety takes place in this housing development. Our 2 characters are trapped in this place. And the movie is also uneventful, so we're left with our main characters. So are they good? No, they're boring and pretty underdeveloped. We really don't know much about the characters. In a movie like this, they could tell us so much more about them. Maybe some stories, maybe something where I could latch onto them, but no, I didn't care. I truly didn't care what would happen to them. And close to the end of the film, the screenwriters were like, oh my god, oh wait, we forgot to develop our characters. We gotta dump some exposition there so, the audience members could care. But that was too late. At that point of the movie, I was already checked out. Unfortunately, the movie is also not surprising. This is not a spoiler, by the way, it was on the trailer, but as soon as the boy appears, supposedly their child that they need to take care of, I knew exactly where that was going, and I was right. I'm pretty sure everyone will guess where this is going. It's pretty simple. So yeah, even that didn't excite me. From positives, I do like the design of the housing development. It does look artificial as it's supposed to. It is also just in general a well-shot film. And as I said in the beginning, the concept is interesting and they could do some interesting things with it, but they don't, unfortunately. And, I guess the movie could be interpreted as a metaphor for life. That's about it. But the biggest crime Vivarium commits is that it is boring, plain and simple. Overall, Vivarium has a good concept, but it doesn't do much with it. And with boring characters and the only supposed surprise of the film being easily predictable, the movie has almost nothing to keep our attention on the screen. And thus, I'm gonna give Vivarium a very weak 6 out of 10. Now let's move to our second film, Swallow, and here's the plot synopsis. So our lead character, Hunter, is married to a guy from an extremely rich family, although her life is far from being perfect. And one day after getting pregnant, she develops a pica, which is an irresistible urge to swallow objects. Swallow establishes its uncomfortable, awkward atmosphere right from the beginning. One of the first scenes in the movie where Hunter and her husband Richard are having a dinner together, you can already feel the distance between them. The movie establishes their relationship problems right then and there. Some scenes also have a lot of awkwardness in them, and some scenes actually made me physically cringe, which is a good thing because that's what the movie wants me to feel. So good job, Swallow. You did a good job. In one of the first scenes in the movie, again, it's not a spoiler, Hunter is having a dinner with Richard's family. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I physically cringed. I just couldn't take it. God, and there are scenes like that in the movie where, as I said, like there is so much awkwardness, and you're like, you just feel for the character. You just feel like you are her. You're in her shoes, and you're like, just please stop. The movie does a lot for us to understand our lead character, Hunter, played brilliantly by Haley Bennett. Another noteworthy thing is that this movie is visually gorgeous and also sound work. The sound work, my God. The scenes where our character Hunter is putting objects into her mouth, the sound in those scenes does such a great job because we almost like, it gets under your skin. You're almost like feeling as if you are Hunter, putting that in your mouth, the sound of the object in the mouth, her swallowing it. You feel and hear everything. I also really loved the ending and the meaning and the message behind it. I think the movie did a really good job with that as well. Overall, Swallow is a really good thriller drama with a lead character who you really care for and understand, and some awkward and uncomfortable moments that get under your skin. Swallow does a great job of establishing exactly what it wants you to feel right from the beginning. Swallow gets a very strong 8 out of 10. And finally, let's talk about our third film, The Platform. The Platform takes place sometime in the future, where some people are sent to the vertical management system, or as they refer to it in the film a couple of times, the Hole. It consists of a number of levels, 2 people living per level. And the food is delivered each day on a platform, so while the people on the upper levels get to eat as much as they want, the people on lower levels starve. And just by the synopsis, you can tell that the vertical management system in this film is basically an allegory to our society, you know, where the people from upper classes get to stuff their faces with as much food as they want. The people in the lower classes starve. There is not enough food and, you know, stuff left for them. So yeah, the movie is pretty much on the nose about it. It's not trying to tell its message in a very subtle way, but, you know, take it as you want. I think it's perfectly fine. You know, not every movie needs to find an extremely subtle way to, you know, explain its message. Sometimes the message is kind of in front of our eyes. The movie still makes you think, and it's a very interesting and a unique way to tell this message. But all the messages aside for a second, this is just a damn good thriller horror film with a great concept behind it. The idea with the whole platform and levels just sound like a great one for a thriller horror film, and the movie takes great advantage of it. The movie doesn't really tell what's going on in the outside world that led for this place to exist, which is perfectly fine. You know, if you try to think about it, there are going to be so many plot holes and your brain will explode with questions like, how is this legal? How is this better than a prison? How is this profitable? So many questions. But you shouldn't ask that because the platform is not trying to tell you what's going on in the outside world, and it's a decision, and it is fine because the movie is still really engaging and is really interesting on its own. And as I said when I was talking about Vivarium, not every movie needs to explain everything. However, why I brought this thing up is that I wanted to know one thing, and it's a thing about our lead character, and it's that why did our lead character choose to come to this vertical management system? Without getting into any spoilers, different people in the vertical management system are there for different reasons, but our lead character comes here to stop smoking and read Don Quixote. So I wonder how this place presents itself as in the outside world. Is this like a management system where you can come and like get rid of your bad habits? Does it present itself as that? But that doesn't make sense because there are people who don't come here by their choice, because our character, yes, he decided to be here, but there are people who are forced to be here, sent here. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but yeah, there are people who are forced. So it doesn't make sense if our character thought that this was just a management system, but at the same time, he is really surprised of what's going on in this whole, the horrific thing, so he didn't know. So how much do people know coming to this hole? So I'm kind of curious about that. Also, there is one character that appears in the movie about like midway into the movie. It's a female character, and she also, I don't understand how she happened to be here. Again, she comes there by her own choice, but it's never explained why. So I kind of would like to know just that. Just the one thing that bugs me. It's not a huge problem, but I do wonder, how does this entire thing function, and how do some people choose to be there? So yeah, I'd like to know that. Overall, The Platform is an engaging horror thriller with an allegory to our society and more, and with a plot that gets you hooked and doesn't let the audience lose its attention. I'm going to give The Platform a very strong 8.5 out of 10. It's really nice to be back. I really missed making videos, but I'm back and I can't wait to make more videos. I have ideas written down on my notebook, and I'm going to be consistent and upload more videos in the upcoming weeks, so expect that. And also, you guys have suggested me so many films and I can't wait to watch them. I am going to watch them and review some of them, so I'm really excited about that. So yeah, guys, that is it for this video, and if you enjoyed it, leave a like, and if you didn't, leave a dislike, and also let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the films I talked about? I am curious about your opinion. Also, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I post movie stuff there and just, updates on my channel and stuff if you care. So yeah, go follow me in both of those social medias if you want to. And if you don't want to miss my other movie and TV show related videos, subscribe to this channel. Bye.